Okay. All right, so go ahead, friends, meet me in an all four position, and we're just going to start in a nice little cat cow stretch. So you can spread those fingertips out nice and wide. Let your belly button drop down towards that mat and start looking up to see where that ceiling meets the wall. And then we'll tuck our tailbone under, looking between those legs, lifting belly button up towards the ceiling, and then go ahead and release head, neck, and shoulders to look up towards that ceiling. Belly button falls back down towards that mat. And then we'll press away one more time, really lifting up, tucking tailbone under. And then I want you to come into that neutral spine for me. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to extend that right arm, left leg, lift everything up towards that ceiling, and then we'll tap everything back down. So we have a toe tap here and fingertips are reaching. So think about the opposition you're creating as you squeeze that seat, reaching your shoulder forward, keeping that spine neutral here. We're going to lift all the way up and then tap back down. So I want you to take your time here as we wake up full body. You have 15 more seconds. You're lifting in that exhale, inhale as you release. So exhale, lift in opposition, inhale, release. We'll leave that hand and toe up in 4, in 3, final tap in 2. Now lift up and start to pulse for me here. Think about lifting from that shoulder just an inch, and then you're just squeezing your seat in opposition here, reaching, nice little balance challenge early in the morning. Take that big inhale and that exhale as you're reaching. I want you to squeeze your seat for me in 8 seconds. We freeze 7 and 6. Everything starts to get really warm right here. 4 more seconds. 3 and 2. Now just hold for me. I want you to turn your thumb towards the ceiling. You're going to bring your elbow in to meet your knee and then find that full extension holding at that top. Really slow to bring that elbow into your knee, tucking tailbone under. Then you find that full extension. You're here for about 8 more seconds. Take your time. Every time that you bring that elbow in to meet your knee, you tuck that tailbone and then you extend, squeeze your seat and your shoulder. We have a final hold on this side in 3. Give me one more tap in 2. Extend, reach, and hold for me. Turn your palm towards the floor. I want you to squeeze through your seat, straighten that leg. Don't sink into that opposite side. You're here for 5. You're going to find a quick child's pose in 4, 3, 2, hand and leg come down, sink into your child's pose. We're still in that warm up, so take your time. Open knees up nice and wide. Let your chest fall between those legs. Take that big inhale, and as you exhale here, reach those fingertips 1 inch further. You meet me back in the cat-cow stretch in 3. In 2, meet me back in that cat-cow stretch. Spread fingertips out on that floor. 2 here. We'll drop belly button down to meet that floor, looking up to that ceiling. And then you'll tuck your tailbone under. Really try to tuck, tuck, tuck here, looking between those legs. And then you'll release it down 1 more each direction in that cat and then that cow stretch. And then you're going to find that neutral spine for me. We'll reach that left arm, right leg will reach long and strong. We'll lift everything up to parallel to that floor, and then we'll tap it down. So opposite leg, opposite arm. So now we've got that left arm, right leg. I want you to think about no bend in your knee. So you're creating as much length as you can, squeezing through your seat. You'll take your time here because your shoulder will start to warm up. You'll feel that in the front of that shoulder. Another 15 seconds right here, but take your time. Inhale, lower, exhale, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze to lift. Inhale, lower. Think about reaching in opposition as you lift up towards that floor. In 5 seconds, we hold at the top. We go into those pulses in 4. Good. In 3, in 2. Now hold everything up. Thumb goes towards that ceiling. We're just going to come up an inch and down an inch. Think about squeezing your seat here to lift you up that inch. Belly button stays plugged in. Nice little balance challenge first thing in the morning. You're going to hold for me in about 8 seconds. Keep reaching. Let shoulders start to get nice and warm. In 5 seconds, we freeze. Thumb will face that ceiling if it's not already facing that ceiling. In 3, in 2, from here, you're going to bring your elbow in to meet that that knee, tuck, 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 and then extend and reach. So your full body right here in this warm up, you're getting your seat nice and warm, your shoulders are warm, and now you're in those abs. In 5 seconds, we're gonna freeze and hold nice and long and strong in 4, bring that elbow in for 3, reach, extend for 2, one more of that elbow coming in, and then you reach, hold for me. Turn that palm towards the floor, take a big inhale. As you exhale, you release your shoulder from that ear, you squeeze your seat for me. You're gonna bring that hand back down, stay in the all 4 for me in 3, in 2, knee and arm come back down here. Good. From here, hands are right underneath of your shoulders. You're going to bring your forearms to that mat, and then we'll lift up, squeeze right into your triceps. You bring your forearms down to that mat, and then you lift and squeeze your triceps. So as you lower down, head comes between your hands. Your seat doesn't move. This is all upper body right here. You're doing great. In 10 seconds, you're gonna hold, you'll walk back into that high plank. I'm coming for those shoulders first thing in the morning. You've got 5 seconds here, lowering forearms down. Exhale, press and squeeze triceps. On this next one, I need you to hold at the top, walk your right foot back, your left foot back. You're in that high plank for me. You have this. Find that high plank, first plank of the day. Soften the bend in your elbows just a hair so your elbows are not locked out. You breathe right here for me. You're going into a slow climber. It's not a run. You bring right knee towards left elbow, you place that foot back, you bring left knee towards that right elbow. It's a slow control. We can call it a mountain climber, but you're not jumping. You're slowly bringing that knee in towards that elbow. Think about your lower abs. Butts are exactly where they should be here. I need you to fight for 15 more seconds, and then you're going to go into a downward dog. So you have this less than 10 seconds. Bring that knee in, make it deliberate. 8 and 7, downward dog for me. In 6, you've got it. 5, 4, 3, and 2. Lift your hips up towards the ceiling. Start to pedal out those knees. You're out of your warm up. Big inhale here and that exhale. And then I'm going to have you walk your hands in towards your feet in towards those hands. And you're going to hang there nice and heavy for me for a second. We're going to stand and get into that first leg series. But from here, I want you to slowly roll yourself up to the top. Neck and shoulders are the last things that are going to lift. Once you get to the top, reach those hands up overhead for me just for a second. Gaze goes up towards that ceiling. Reach, reach, reach. Soft back bend. You'll come back through center. Hands will come back down to your side. It's a right side reverse lunge that we're starting with here today. So take that right foot. You step back into your reverse lunge and you stand. No knee lift, just the controlled reverse lunge. We're just waking up those legs. We're gonna do my favorite series since it's just us. When you step back into the reverse lunge, you drive through your left heel to stand back up. So right foot steps back. As you step up, you drive through left heel. I want you to squeeze your seat, contract your abs at the top. So you lower down with control, knee comes almost to a hover, and then you stand up, back up for me. Hold on to that movement. You have another 15 seconds right here. You step back with that right foot, and then you step that leg all the way back to center. For the last 10 seconds, you can start adding your knee lift in. So as you lift, you're going to drive that knee up to parallel to that hip, and then you step back down. So now is when you've added that knee lift in. Heart rate will start to come up a little bit, just 8 seconds right here. 7 and 6, you step back, you lift that knee up. For 5, we hold the knee up in 4. Good. In 3, give me one more. Hold that knee up in 2. Now hold that knee up for me. Option to bring your hands to prayer. You have the option to reach your hands. You reach that right foot to the back of the room, arms go forward, and then you reach that knee back up. If your hands are in prayer, I'm fine with it. It's a hinge at your hips, an extension, and then you bring that knee back up. Balance challenge right here. You have this. If it's too much and you need to hold on to something with that left hand, you can. If it's still too much, just stagger and that right heel will lift and you'll go into that left side deadlift. I'm fine with that as well. You can always keep that right heel, right foot down, ball of the foot's down, heel is lifted. If not, you're extending that right leg to the back of the room. We're going to put the two movements together. You have a right side reverse lunge. You give me a knee lift and then you go into that single leg deadlift in 3. In 2, add your lunge back in. You step back with your right foot, you drive your knee up, and then you extend that toe to the back of the room. It has to stay slow and controlled. You're using your legs, you're using your abs, you're relaxing your shoulder. It's 1 reverse lunge on that right side. You drive your knee up, and then you extend that right leg to the back of the room. Keep your hips square. 5 seconds right here. In 4, I need you to hold in that reverse lunge. In 3, reverse lunge hold. In 2, finish your deadlift if you're there, and then you find that hold at the bottom. Beautiful. Now I need you to take a big inhale. Can you give me a slight tuck of your tailbone and a slight hinge forward? Yes, nice. I'm right there. Breathe for me. It's a 10-second hold before we start to pulse. You can do this. I need you to breathe. Drive through that left heel. Now start pulsing down an inch and up an inch. Let your legs start to shake. Down an inch and up an inch. Yes, you can. Down an inch and up an inch. Every time you pulse down, you are squeezing your seat. You're relaxing your shoulders. You hold in 3. One more time. In 2. On 1, you're going to tap that right foot, curtsy, tap, reverse, tap, curtsy, tap, reverse. You should be shaking. You should be on fire. You get to stand in less than 10 seconds. You do not give up on this. You give me a curtsy tap, reverse lunge tap for 5. Good. You stand in 4. You can do this. In 3. Perfect. In 2. Last time tapping curtsy, tap center, and you stand. Take a big inhale. Hands reach up overhead. As you bring that gaze towards the ceiling, give me a slow back bend here. You come back up to center, hands come to your side. There's no break. You go right into your left side reverse lunge, and then you tap at the top. No knee lift yet. You're resetting here, active recovery. In this left side reverse lunge, your right leg is now stabilizing you. So drive through that right heel. Left leg comes back, you step together. Left leg comes back, knee comes to that hover, and then you stand up. Now think about how you're contracting. As you step that left foot back, I need you to drive through your right heel, and then you squeeze your seat, contract your abs at the top, squeezing as if your hands are wrapping around to pull that belly in like a corset. You have 15 seconds left in this. In about 5 seconds is when we add in that knee lift. In 4, I want you to add the knee lift in. It doesn't have to get faster. It needs to be deliberate. Lift that knee up to about hip height. In 2, on your next one, you step back. Now drive that left knee up. Perfect. As you're doing this, inhale as you lower, exhale, drive that knee up. In 5 seconds, the knee has to stay lifted. We've got that single leg deadlift happening on that opposite side. In 3, step back. In 2, now drive that knee up, hold. Hands can either come to prayer or you can reach them. You're going to extend that left foot to the back of the room, and you're going to reach, and then you're going to squeeze, pull that knee back in. Nice. So as you extend that leg, I need you to think to yourself, you're hinging forward, you feel that nice burn on that right side, and then you stand up nice and tall. If you lose your balance, you're just going to go ahead and reset. Find a spot on the floor, and then as you watch that, it'll help you with that balance. You always have the option to drop that leg down and stagger your deadlift. 5 seconds left right here. Let's add that lunge back in 3. Good. In 2, now step back. Step into your lunge, drive that knee up, and then extend those toes to the back of the room. Here's where you're a little bit fatigued, so don't worry if your heart rate's coming up. Take your time. 2 separate movements. It's a reverse lunge. It's a knee drive, and then you extend those toes to the back of the room. You have 10 seconds here, and then you're in that lunge hold. Focus on that single leg deadlift here. Really think about keeping your hips square. Your hands are either pressing together or you're reaching long and strong. I need you to give me one more deadlift, and then I need you to come back into that reverse lunge hold in 3. In 2, reverse lunge hold, reverse lunge hold. Find it here. Yes. Now press your palms together. Sink your seat down, slight tuck of your tailbone. Yep. And then a slight hinge forward. You'll feel it in your quad. Now let's start to pulse together. Drive that knee down an inch and up an inch, down an inch and up an inch. Your shoulders stay relaxed here. It's not a bounce. It is so deliberate. You are squeezing your seat for 8, and 7. Here's that last change. I know you're pumped for it. We have that curtsy lunge tap back to that reverse lunge tap. You do not stand. You keep that knee bent in 3. In 2, let's start tapping. Curtsy tap, reverse lunge tap. Here is that extra challenge. Can you stay low? Can you be deliberate in that? Can you fire up that thigh right here? 10 and 9. We stand in 8. You're doing great. 7. Hold on to this. 6 and 5. You're there for 4. Keep tapping for 3. Beautiful. For 2. You step together on one hand. Come up overhead. Big reach up towards that ceiling. Now dive those hands down to the mat. Hang there nice and heavy for a second. Hands come to the mat. You step back into your plank in 3. Step into your plank in 2. Find that plank for me. I know. Find that plank. Now take a big inhale here. A little bit fatigued in those legs. I need you to finish in the 30-second slow mountain climber again, and then you get to find a child's pose. So start driving right knee to that left elbow, left knee to that right elbow. If it feels better just to keep driving them to center, you can. Here's when you can decide, do I want to pick up my pace a little bit from that first round? Do I want to stay right where I was? I'm fine with either, but I need it deliberate. Use your lower abs, pull your knees in. We're waking shoulders back up. You're using your abs, legs are tired. I need you to give me 15 more seconds. I know you're going to be fine. You're going to come into a child's pose after this. So fight for this last 10 and 9. Can you pick up that pace just a hair? For 7, good. For 6, keep switching. 5 and 4, you've got it. 3 and 2, we rest on 1, press back, open knees, let your chest fall towards that mat, and take a big inhale here. As you exhale, you'll wiggle those fingertips up towards the front of that mat. Good. I was wondering if that sweatshirt was ever going to come off. I'm like, get warm over there. Take a big inhale. First set of push-ups in 5, 2 counts down, 2 counts up in 3. In 2, take a sip of water if you need it, and then meet me in those push-ups. 30 seconds right here. 30 seconds in your push-up. We're coming down on a 2 count. Exhale, press away. If you are struggling here, I want you to give me a hand release push-up because I'd rather you come down a little bit further. We're taking our time. We're just going to finish out those shoulders. You're standing back up after this. We're going to grab our lightweight. So you're doing perfect. You have 10 seconds left right here, and then you can find that downward dog. If you need a cat-cow first, you can take it, but you're in a downward dog in 5. Give me 1 more push-up in 4. In 3, good. In 2, tuck those toes under. Lift your hips up towards the ceiling. Start to pedal out those knees. I don't want you to get dizzy because I'm having you go up and down. Your hands will walk into your feet. Your feet will walk into your hands. Take your time as you roll all the way up to the top. You're going to grab your light weights for me. We're going to stay in those arms. Legs get a tiny little bit of a break. Weights come into each hand here for me. And then I want you to come into that goal post position. We're going to give ourselves a right side press, a left side press. Both arms go up together. So you're alternating here. You give me 1 right side press, 1 left side, and then both arms go together. As you're in these presses, right side, then our left side, then we go together. So you're not just going with those both arms the whole time. 15 seconds left right here. Can we soften the bend in our knees? As you're using, excuse me, as you are using those arms, they just come to that elbow height and then they press back up. Can you contract through your abs right here? You're going to hold in that goal post position in 3. In 2, hold on 1. We're going to squeeze arms to parallel. We're going to open them back up, and then we're going to rotate them down. 2 movements. We squeeze, we press, we rotate, lift back up. You've got it. Squeeze and press, rotate down. We lift back up. I need you to think about your knees right here. They're going to want to start to lock out. I want a soft bend in them, and then I want you to use your abs. Contract abs as you squeeze in, release. Contract abs as you lower, and then you lift back up. Good. 8 and 7. Notice it's slow and controlled. 6. Keep contracting arms and those abs. 5. Good. For 4. Last 3. We hold them up in 2. Last squeeze in. Now open into your goal pose. You're going to extend those arms, and then that high hammer curl. We extend, and then we bend those arms in. Big inhale. You drop to body weight or your balas whenever you need to. 10 and 9, you've got it, 8 and 7, we hold those arms out long and strong, in 6, good, in 5, and 4, final 3, and 2, we hold them out on one, palms face the floor, and we bring those arms to center. Now we start to circle towards that midline. We're just making sure we hit every bit of that shoulder. As you circle towards that midline, can you contract through your abs? Can you bend those knees, squeeze your triceps, reverse that circle for 10 and 9, keep circling, 8 and 7, let those arms get tired. I want you to want to go back to those legs, 5 and 4, you're there for 3, good, 2, hold on 1, palms face each other, alternate your hammer curls, right back to that hammer curl, yep, you got this, 10, 9 and 8, you're right there, 7 and 6, you've got it, 5, both arms come to 90, and 4 and 3, perfect, 2, come to 90, pulse it up 1 inch and down 1 inch, it's up 1 inch and down 1 inch, it's up and down 1 inch, it's 8 and 7, you have 6 right here, it's 5 and 4, good, 3 and 2, on 1, you open up, final 30 seconds, it's a shoulder press, pull and press, good, pull and press. If you need to alternate, you can, but I need you to fight for this last 20 seconds. You're out of your shoulders. We're going to move on to those biceps. You've got 10 and 9. Keep fighting. 8. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Use abs. It's 5. Good. And 4. Arms come down. 3 and 2, on 1, arms go down, you're right into your bicep curl. We lower, squeeze tricep, we lift, squeeze those biceps. We lower, squeeze triceps, we lift into those biceps. You have this 15 seconds right here. You're gonna need to squeeze those weights. Think to yourself, as you exhale, it's like you're pulling through mud, pulling through water. I need you to have a soft bend in those knees. Squeeze triceps, then your biceps here. Triceps, then those biceps. You have 8 and 7, you're gonna meet me at 90, in 5, good, in 4, final 3, give me one more full range curl right here, and then you come to 90. You're gonna press your arms out, squeeze them back in. We press those arms out, we squeeze back in right here. So elbows stay right under your shoulders. You're gonna feel this down the sides, back of your arms, 10, good, 9, and 8, we have 7, and 6 right here for 5 and 4, back to 90, and 3, good, in 2, on 1, you come to 90, release all the way down, come back to 90, press out, pull in, you've got it, release, squeeze halfway, press it out, pull it in, squeeze your triceps, then those biceps, you press out and in, 10 here, it's 9 and 8, good, 7 and 6, you're right there, 5 and 4, final 3 and 2, come back, meet me at 90, hold right here, press up 1 inch and down 1 inch, it's 10, squeeze those weights, 8 and 7, you've got 6 right here, it's 5 and 4, final 3, stay at 90, and 2, on 1, palms face each other, bend your knees, hinge forward right into your tricep kickbacks. Pull arms in, extend and squeeze. Pull arms in, extend and squeeze. Yes, you can. 30 seconds. This is the only change. You're not doing any pulses. You're not doing any holds. You're thinking, can I keep my elbows nice and high? Can I extend, squeeze triceps, bend right back in? Yes, you can. Extend, squeeze triceps, bend right back in. 15 seconds. Stay in your tricep kickbacks. Fire them up. Every time you press, you squeeze triceps, you give me a slight release, and then you press back again. 10 seconds right here. 9 and 8, you have it. 7 and 6, keep fighting. 5 and 4, final 3 and 2, on 1, bring those elbows in, stand right back up, press arms up overhead. You start to lift right knee and that left knee. Weights are overhead. I want you to go slow and controlled. This is about your lower abs right here. I know you can race through this, but can you take your time? Can you lift each knee in opposition? Can you squeeze from those lower abs? You have 1 change left in those arms. It's your final set of push-ups. We're dropping those arms, reaching down towards that mat, stepping back into your plank. You're going to give me 1 push-up, and then you're going to give me that mountain climber to that right side, that left side, and then another push-up in 3. Leave those legs down straight in 2. Weights are going to come down. You're going to dive your hands down to your mat, leave those weights there, step back into your plank.
one push-up, and then you bring right knee to left elbow, left knee to right elbow. So I'm fine if you do your push-up on your knees, but then I need you to pop those knees up, tuck your toes under, and give me a climber to that right side and that left side. Last set of push-ups right here. We're gonna ditch that nice mountain climber, and we're just gonna finish in your push-ups in 3, in 2, final 10 seconds of push-ups. Give me what you can right here for 10, for 9, do not stop. 8, inhale as you lower, exhale as you press to lift. For 5, child's pose. In 4, in 3, good. In 2, you rest on 1, rest, rest, rest. Press back, open knees up nice and wide for me. Reach your hands between those legs. You get to go back to those legs in a second. So take the big inhale. I want everyone to take a sip of water. And then as you exhale, you can come all the way up. Once you have that sip of water, we're going to meet in an all four position. We're going to stay in those legs, but we're going to stay down on the mat. We start with both hands up. If you have Balas and you want to stick them on your ankles, you can. You're going to come right to where we started class in that all four position. You're going to flex through your foot, pressing into that right hand so that you don't sink into your left side. You're going to give me one of those clamshells. You bring your knee down, and then you extend that leg back to the back of the room in a kickback. So it's one clamshell right here, and then one kickback. Yep. That's where you start. Your shoulders are tired. So what I need you to think about is what's happening in your core. Is your belly button pulled in? Do you have a nice neutral spine? You're pressing into your right hand here because you're moving that right leg. You're going to want to sink into that left side. So really be thoughtful there as you're trying to even out that weight. You always have the option to bring that hand if you want to. As you're moving, you can bring that left hand to your right shoulder. That's a great extra challenge. You can bring that left hand to your left quad and press it right there as well. But I need you to stay in this big movement. So you're giving yourself one clamshell, you lift that leg up, foot stays flexed, and then you kick that foot to the back of the room. It's a big movement, so you should fatigue here relatively quickly. You have 10 seconds in this. I need you to be thoughtful. Outer thigh corner pocket of your booty, and then you go right into your center booty. Hamstring for me. You're going to hold at the bottom. We just go into that donkey kick in 5, donkey kick in 4. You're going to walk down to your forearms first in 3. In 2, we walk down to our forearms, right leg is still moving. We give ourselves that donkey kick. We lower down to a hover. Exhale, lift, donkey kick. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, lift that leg up. Inhale, lower down. Your heel has to stay close to your seat for me. It's not fast. It's so deliberate. 8 and 7. Good. 6. Keep pressing for 5. You lower for 4. You hold it up in 3. Last time you release it. Now hold it up and pulse at the top. The only reason your leg is moving is because you are squeezing from your center booty as your heel comes towards your seat. It's flexed with that foot. You have 6 seconds right here. You hold at the top. It's a high hamstring curl. In 4, you're going to extend that heel to the back of the room. You're going to bring that heel back into your seat. In 3, in 2, you extend that heel to the back of the room. You bring that heel back in towards your seat. Inhale and exhale as you find that big extension and that squeeze. 8 seconds right here. 7, that leg stays long and strong. In 5, keep it reaching to the back of the room. In 4, in 3, good. In 2, extend and hold. Now pulse it up an inch and down an inch. Squeeze from that center booty. Squeeze from that hamstring. You have 6 seconds right here. Yes, you can. 5. Keep your toes flexed. 4 and 3. We have it for 2. On 1, you hold for me. I want you to drop those toes down. Left foot comes back. You're in a forearm plank. Hold. Forearm plank hold. Give me a slight tuck of your tailbone. Press your forearms into the mat. It's 30 seconds right here. They're quick little planks to help you in that active recovery. Breathe for me right here. You're walking up to your hands in your plank in 10 seconds. And then we're just going to drop those knees down. You're back into an all four. There's no break. You do get a cat-cow stretch between sides. Can you walk up to your hands for me, ladies? Yes. In 5 seconds, you're bringing those knees down and you'll be in your all four. In 4, in 3, good. In 2, both knees come down. Give yourself one cat-cow. I know your arms are fatigued right here. Spread your fingertips out. left leg is moving. You're going to give yourself one clamshell, one extension of your leg to the back of the room. Here's where I need you to be thoughtful of what's happening in your arms, a soft bend in those elbows. And here's where you can take that hand. You can always bring that right hand to that left shoulder to keep your balance. You can bring your right hand to your right quad. It's less about the balance challenge, but I just want to make sure your hips are square. It's a big movement. It's that clamshell lift squeeze from outer pocket, that thigh, and then you extend, squeezing your center seat and hamstring. I want you to think about where you're squeezing. I know it's a basic foundational movement, but can you keep your belly button pulled in? Can you keep your shoulders away from your ears? And can you be thoughtful when you are deliberate in that squeeze? One clamshell and then one full leg kickback. You get to come down to your forearms after this. So shoulders will get a break in about 5 seconds. We'll come back through center. We'll come down to our forearms. You go into your donkey kick in 3. In 2, good. Bring that leg back down. Walk to your forearms, reset. Flex your left foot. Now you're going to kick that foot up towards the ceiling like you want to stamp the ceiling, and then knee comes down to a hover. Your heel stays close to your seat to give yourself the extra challenge, and then you bring knee down to a hover. So think to yourself as you kick that foot up towards the ceiling, actively try to dramatically bring your heel towards your seat. It'll fire up your hamstring and bring that warmth right to your center booty. Exhale, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze your seat. Inhale, lower down, belly button still pulled in. You've got this. You're going to hold that leg up nice and high. In 5, we go into pulses. In 4, fight for it. For 3, I know you're fatigued. In 2, now pulse it right at the top. Pulse it right at the top. Squeeze, release. Squeeze, release. Yes, you can. 6 right here. We're going to go into that high hamstring curl. In 5, you keep squeezing, keep heel towards that seat. Love to see those Balas. 4 and 3. Here we go. 2. Now extend, squeeze in the extension, and then pull that leg back in. Pretend like you're pulling through mud, like you're pulling through water. I want you to think about lower back staying nice and strong. As you extend that leg, you're squeezing through your quad and your seat, and then you bring that heel back in. We're going to keep that leg extended, and we're going to go into pulses in 5. Yes, you got that. So 4 and 3, keep that knee high. In 2, now extend, hold back to your pulses. For 10, yes, you can. 9, you've got a forearm plank on deck. I know you're here. I know you're strong. You've got 6, keep squeezing. 5, get that leg up there. 1 more inch, you're on your forearms for a reason. 3 and a hold, 2 and a hold. Freeze right where you are. Now flex your foot. Drop your toes down. Your right leg comes back. You're in a forearm plank. Find the forearm plank. This is where you got to finish strong right here. I'm going to give you a break after this, so I need you in that strong forearm plank. Everybody lift your seats up just a centimeter and then tuck your tailbone under for me. You have 15 seconds right here, no movement. Now, where can you squeeze and contract? Can you press into that mat? Can you take an exhale? Can you tuck your tailbone under, pull lower abs in, belly button meets that spine? You have 8 and 7. Child poses in 6. So if you're not squeezing, if you're not breathing, find it. 4, 3, 2, and you rest. Now press all the way back. Find that stretch. Open knees up. Beautiful. We're going to come on to our backs in 3. Take a sip of water if you need it. In 2, about 5 minutes of work left, so you're doing great. Here's when we go into those abs and we have more fun. You're going to take a big inhale. I want you to put your hands on your lower belly. You're going to float your legs to tabletop here. Let your elbows fall heavy. I want you to feel the contraction in your lower abs. Point through your toes. You're going to inhale, lower down. Exhale, squeeze, lift. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, squeeze, lift. Now inhale, both toes lower. Exhale, both toes lift. I'm giving you the option to drop both legs at the same time. If it is too much, you're going to ditch that. You're going to think to yourself, inhale, lower, exhale, lift. This should be a really challenging movement. We've done a ton of lower ab work today. So think to yourself about your breath. Keep lower back pulled into the mat. Reach hands up towards the ceiling for me. Hold. Take a big inhale, lift head, neck, and shoulders up. We're going to extend left leg, right arm. Exhale, come back to center. Inhale, extend left arm, right leg. Exhale, come back to center. You're in your opposite dead bug here. You started it in all 4. You started in the opposite position. So you were in those extensions in an all 4. Now you're in your dead bug. So think about this movement. You're just opposite of where you started out that class, still in your abs, finding those reaches. You're gonna hold center for me in 4, hold center for me in 3, good, in 2, now freeze right here. Reach your hands towards your heels. You're gonna exhale, extend in opposition. Inhale, reach. Or I should reverse it. Inhale, extend, exhale, pull back in. As you extend into these suitcase crunches, I want you to think to yourself, if you need to come into that tight little ball and then extend, you can. Extra challenge is just the reach. And then that opposition, 8 seconds right here, 7. You're coming back into that tabletop position in 5. Fight for your abs right here at the end in 4. In 3, one more extension. 2, come all the way back. Lower head, neck, and shoulders for a second. Legs stay in tabletop. Hands come behind your head. You're going to lift up right here. It's a slow bicycle. Right elbow to left knee. Come back to center. Right to left. I do want you to come back through center before you switch. You'll take your time. They're slow to start. 3 minutes of work left, really 2.5. So you keep fighting for me right here. Now ditch the center hold. It's still a slow bicycle, but you're just gonna come right through center, bringing that elbow right past that knee for me. 15 seconds right here. I'll give you a tiny break. Beautiful extension in those legs. Keep your toes pointed. Come up 1 inch higher. Get those shoulder blades off the mat. 5 seconds, small rest in 4, in 3, last 2 tiny rests, knees into your chest. A minute of work left. You're doing great. Pull knees into your chest. Take a big inhale here for me. On the exhale, I want you to bring your feet back to tabletop. Hands come behind your head. You exhale, lift into your crunch. You reach your hands. You tap right toe down. You tap that left toe down. Hands come back behind your head. You lower. Exhale, lift, reach your hands. Now I want you to stay in your taps. Can you come up 1 inch higher? You tap right toe, you tap left toe, you tap right toe and left. Feel those lower abs talking to you for 10 and 9. Yes, you can. It's 8 and 7. Keep reaching. 6 and 5. We're right there. 4. Hold it tabletop. In 3, in 2. Hold it tabletop. Hands behind your head. Finishing your bicycles. Twist and twist. Yes, you can. Do not give up on it. It's your last change. Twist, extend, twist, extend. Yes. 10 seconds, ladies, and you're out of it. Give me 10 and 9, 8. Empty the tank. 7 and 6. You're right there. 5 and 4. Final 3, 2, 1. And you made it. Knees into your chest. You rest. Knees into your chest. You rest. We'll cut off in about a minute. I'm going to bring you through a stretch. Both knees come into your chest. Give me that soft little rock from side to side. If the happy baby feels good, you go into that happy baby. Take a big inhale. When you're ready, you're going to rock yourself up to that seated position. We're going to bring our arms up overhead. Legs are going to be crossed. Exhale, reach up towards that ceiling. You'll bring your palms together. And as you give yourself one more exhale, hands come to heart center. And you just thank yourself for working so hard today. If you have time, keep stretching. Have such a great rest of the day. Alfie and Ruby, thank you for joining too. Bye, guys.